Howdy, I'm Lee Wilson, this is TGO Wyoming, and today we're on the move, and we're going to talk about camping. So Cheryl and I are on our way back down the mountain, Casper Mountain here, and we have just done a little overnight test trip with our new 1991 Coleman pop-up camper by Fleetwood. It's kind of a cool camper. We picked it up from my parents, they gave it to us. This is the camper that I grew up camping in. Because you reach a point, and I never quite understood this until, well, last night and today, that you reach a point in camping that when you have kids, a camper is a nice thing to have. Sure, you can do it in a big tent, but if you have the option of having a pop-up camper or a pull-behind camper, something like that, it really does make life easier. Right? It's a luxury that if you are fortunate enough to have it, it really makes a huge difference in the way that you camp. For years and years and years, for most of my adult life here, I have been either backpacking or car camping as if I were backpacking, such as, hey, we throw the backpack in the car, and even if we don't go anywhere and end up staying in a base campsite, everything you need to live is contained within that single backpacking backpack. Now, car camping is a totally different mentality to backpacking. I mean, it's been a completely different set of items and skills that you need, and the setup, the takedown, the whole 9 yards. But I tell you what, it is very convenient to have an actual stove to cook on, 2-burner propane stove, and yeah, it's a luxury worth having. You know, plus you stay a lot warmer. You have a little bit cushier of a bed. I say a little bit cushier of a bed because a 91 Coleman has about 4 inches of foam padding, and that's about it. So a few things that we've learned on this trip would be excuse me, extra padding for the bed, definitely worthwhile. Well, it makes a very good insulator, and neither of us got cold, and the Munchkin stayed nice and warm all night. It was a little bit rough on the hips and the back and the neck, so extra padding in a camper, I think that's going to be the ticket. Let's see here, what else did we learn? Well, always bring lots of water. This trip, for an overnight, we started out with one 7-gallon aquatainer and one 6-gallon Rubbermaid jug that I had. And I used the 6-gallon jug basically to extinguish our fire last night, which was very nice. We're on fire restriction, not a fire ban, but a fire restriction. And I wanted to make sure that thing was out. So I basically went about full 6 gallons of water to make sure it was cool to the touch. You know, going back to the old Boy Scout stuff there, make sure your campfire is cool to the touch when it's out, and stir it up. Make sure everything is good and soupy. But, you know, I figure at least 14-15 gallons a day is probably a good idea, and that accounts for a lot of things in car camping. You know, when you're backpacking, you have your water filter, your couple of Nalgene bottles, and you basically have water on demand. But when you're car camping, you have wash bins that need to be filled up for washing your dishes and keeping the camp clean. You have, you know, a wash bin you need for you know, washing your face and arms, because I mean, it's camping, you get dirty. And you'll have, you know, water needs for drinking, for cooking, all these other things. So it's a good idea to carry a lot of water with you. Because generally in car camping, what I've noticed is you don't really have the option of just being able to go camp by a creek. Up here on Casper Mountain, there are no creeks to camp by. All the campsites are developed, which kind of sucks, but, you know, it is what it is. It's still nice to get out, even if it's a developed site. You know, a night in the woods is better than a night at home any day. Kind of like a bad day fishing is better than your best day at work, kind of thing. Unless your work is fishing, and, you know, if you're a guide, then you're pretty much just got it made. But I'm getting off topic here as we're going down this mountain. Speaking of going down the mountain, quick tip here: always, for the love of God and all that is holy, whatever deity you worship, even if you don't worship any, throw your car into a lower gear and save your brakes. Especially when pulling the camper. We're driving my wife's little 2003 Trailblazer right now, and yeah, I've got it set down in second gear to maintain 25 to 30 miles an hour down the mountain, and I'm not having to use my brakes excessively. Still got to get on them, but it's not too bad. So, but back to actually camping in the trailer. What else did we learn there?
How many things did we forget?
Yeah, we forgot a lot of stuff.
Oh, bring a griddle.
Yeah, bring a griddle. That's one thing that we just didn't get on the list.
More than 2 people to feed.
Yeah, cooking burgers one at a time in a tiny little 8-inch pan on the propane stove.
Tinfoil.
Yeah, tinfoil. remember, tin foil. The reason we did this test trip is we have a big old trip up in August going to Ten Sleep, which is north of Casper, about 100 or so miles. And it is absolutely gorgeous up there, but with a 1-year-old, we really wanted to make sure that we had everything set and ready to go, and a good test run close to home can pay off tenfold when you're going to Ten Sleep, or anywhere else for that matter. Sorry, I couldn't resist the terrible pun there. So, do your prep work, see what you're missing, see what you need, and make a list. And we have our list. Kind of got rained on a little bit last night, but it's still legible. So, you know, you need things like a level for the trailer. That's kind of important to make sure your camper is actually leveled out so nobody's getting a head rush when they try to sleep at night. A step stool to get up into the trailer. It makes it a little easier when your arms are full or you're carrying a munchkin. You know, that's a bit of a challenge when you have to drop down a couple of feet. Other important items that we left: tinfoil, I would say Ziploc baggies would be a very important thing to have. You know, a dust broom, like just a little broom and a dustpan. Keep your camper clean. That would have been really nice and handy. We had a rug, but we didn't have a dust broom or anything like that. Dustpan and broom. So these are some thoughts, some things to think about whenever you're, you know, going out in the great world of car camping or camper camping. You know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I know I've been a backpacking snob for many, many years now, but you know, you get to a point where you're out camping with your family and you're just trying to have a good time outdoors. You don't have to throw on the pack and just, you know, hump it in several miles and go find the most exotic places. Some of the most fun things you can do, you know, and the fun times you can have can be had with your family in a little pop-up trailer. So on that note, I'm going to continue navigating carefully down Casper Mountain through the windy switchbacks at 15 miles an hour, and I'll make a regular habit of doing these little car vlogs. So until next time, stay safe, shoot straight, don't forget to subscribe for more great videos.